Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. We've got another action figure review for you today, and we're going to take a look at the Star Wars Black Series Chopper from Rebels. Now, it is the original packaging Chopper, but it is the same figure as the recently re-released New Wave Chopper. So if you are looking to get this figure, don't worry, he's exactly the same. Comes with all the the exact same accessories as well, and interchangeable parts, and I've got to tell you, they are awesome. So we're going to jump into it. Do subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you won't miss any of the content to come, and do leave a like on this video if you enjoy it. So let's jump into it. So what's going to come in the box? So you are going to get some different leg attachments, which is awesome. You get the classic third wheel attachment that does have a working wheel, so that's really nice. It does just go up inside Chopper. There's like just a simple hole for the leg to go in, and it will store completely all the way up inside, or you can have it down so that he can be in these kind of wheeling poses. From a toy photography standpoint, this is awesome because it means that we've got different possibilities. Also from a display point of view, there's that too, but we'll get onto that with the other effects and what you might want to do. But in terms of that, that's great. We also have the flame effect of kind of like a blast off. Like when he's using his rockets, if I can get that into focus. I mean, if you're using R2-D2, R2-D2 famously had his kind of little blaster jets, on the side of his legs that come out, and Chopper's obviously was in the third center leg. So that's really cool. But what they've done here that's awesome is they've got this. I can get that into focus for you. They've got this kind of blast off base effect that they've made with, you can see kind of the structure of it there. It's just orange translucent kind of plastic. So it's printed in this shape like it's a blast off, but it's also a base, and then it's got this white weathering wash of paint on there to make it look like kind of the smoke amongst the fire. But what's awesome about that is that in and of itself is an awesome addition, and I love to see stuff like this. Me, like when we have flame or force lightning effects, that sort of stuff. I love that. It's a great addition. And then also with this, it is integrated so that goes in there. You can have it at any angle you like. Sorry, Eva, as I throw that at you. Any angle you like, but it does have a specific, as you can see, kind of there, set little point that it will sit into, and you can put that leg inside Chopper and he becomes in this flight pose. So obviously looking at that, that's absolutely awesome. I mean, look at this guy, he's got so much presence. So on your shelf in your display, he's going to look awesome. If you want to use this this flame and smoke effect base, now you can use it from a toy photography standpoint, and I love that is that I could do a scene where he's blasting off, and I don't have to edit any of that in. But also arguably with your display, or from a toy photography standpoint, you can get a dynamic flight stand and have him, or a wire, and have him just blasting off without that effect, and it'll just look just as good. But that's really awesome. And again, that just pops into the middle of Chopper nice and easily, so that's really cool. In terms of looks for Chopper, or Chop, as we know and love him to be, you can have him like this with no third leg showing, just the two legs. He does have wheels on the bottom that, if I can get that to focus for you, that do work. So this third leg with the wheel can go up inside here, and like I say, he will pose brilliantly with it, but also he will actually move freely with it, so that's fantastic too. But you can also just pop that up inside and that will store it nicely, and you see the wheel just kind of poking out, and that's kind of the look that Chopper had a lot of the time, so that's kind of cool. You also get this interchangeable leg that is obviously from the famous episode where Chopper finds a matching leg finally, and he tries to let's say he tries to obtain it, whether he steals, barter, swaps, whatever you want to call it, but he's such a plucky little droid, and obviously that's cool. He does come with his mix and match salvage leg that obviously Hera, when she found him in the crash, kind of managed to get for him. And like, you know, he looks awesome with that. I love that, but that does just pop off nice and easy. It's just a single ball and socket, just pops into there. So you can either have him with the mix and match, if I can say that right, leg, or you can have him with the matching legs. He looks awesome either way. So, you know, that's a fantastic addition to it. Also, it's just great to have, you know, an accessory if you want to do a shot where he's got his, you know, spare leg, or there's a spare leg for sale or something like that. Or you're doing, you know, a different shot that's not got Chopper in it, but you want to use the interchangeable leg parts, as, you know, it's a marketplace where they're selling, you know, droid parts or astromech parts, and I mean, astromech, I love droids, but astromech droids are my favorite. I mean, and most people's favorite. I mean, they have so much character, and they're so plucky, and obviously Chop is no different. You know, just like R2D2 is one of my favorite characters. I think I fell in love with Chopper pretty quick, as did most people. You know, he's a great little character. You know, he's kind of been through the wars. He's real clumsy, but he always pulls through, and you know, he's held together with kind of with tape and hope most of the time, which is something that I admire. Obviously, from the design point of view, they've absolutely nailed the likeness of Chopper from the animated Rebel series. He looks fantastic, but also, I mean, just the paint application of the design is just on point. You know, this is spectacular. You can't ask for more. You can see that he's got the kind of weathering and carbon scoring throughout on his legs, on the front of his body, the underside, you know, on the front of his head, you know, ranging all the way from the back. It's a little bit cleaner on the back, but still he's got those bits of scoring and the paint chipping and stuff like that. So, I mean, I love the colours and, you know, the colour scheme of the greens and the greys, the yellows, the oranges, and the carbon scoring and kind of paint chipping just goes along with that. Fantastic. I think they've done an amazing job, and he looks fantastic. And you can obviously see his bright blue eyes as well. So yeah, in terms of the paint application, they've actually like completely nailed it. Not a problem at all. And in terms of, you know, the likeness, they've knocked it out of the park too. And what I really love about, for example, you know, Hasbro's Black Series Astromech collection, is they've really, you know, nailed the design in a way that you can hide the articulation points, but they are as articulated as they will ever be on screen, which is fantastic. And we'll move on to that now. I mean, you know, he looks fantastic. It's Chopper. You know, he's our plucky little astromech. But in terms of, you know, the articulation, if I can get that into focus for you, he has, you know, the equivalent of a foot or an ankle. He has that pivot, so he can get, you know, if he's moving forward, he can pivot to be flat still, or pivot back to be flat still, or in the middle, rather than sort of being like this when you're trying to move him around. In terms of, if I fold his arms away just for now, so I can show you in a little bit, you know, a little bit later, his legs will rotate 360 unhindered completely. So we've got the pivot in the foot, and, you know, complete articulation of the you know, of the legs. So that's fantastic. It means that he can look up, down, and wherever. He can fly around, he can be rolling, he can be, you know, running away, whatever you want to do flying. So he looks fantastic, and he, you know, he has the articulation to match. I mean, like I said, he's got the removable leg that can go all the way up underneath, can be taken out completely, changed for the flame effect, and then obviously he's got the interchangeable matching leg as well. So in terms of, you know, the rest of the figure, he's got some nice hidden little things, like these are all little 3D kind of panels that are exposed, and, you know, he's held together with kind of mismatched panels. But he's got, you know, his multi-tool arm here that does have a little pivot in the middle as well, so that can fold, and that's really nice. You can extend it all the way, or you can have it folded, but that's just, you know, a really cool addition that pops out. I really like that. And then his famous, you know, arms that fold into his head, and I love the way, you know, Black Series have done this, because his head will spin 360 completely, and obviously Chopper that's his famous move, is kind of what the frick is going on or whatever, and he spins his head with his arms out or whatnot. So that's fantastic that you can do that and it doesn't hinder the articulation. The arms, I love the addition of the arms. If they didn't have them, or if they were just set, that would be a little bit annoying. But they do just fold and pop up into the head, and to get them out, you just unfold them there, nice and easy. The arm does have a pivot, which again is absolutely awesome because it can come all the way extended, but also he can go all the way rotated forward and all the way rotated back, and again, because he can extend, he can rotate so that his little wrench kind of clampy arms can hold things from different angles. So that's fantastic. It's the same on both sides, and then he's got his little antenna dish that's always kind of askew in Rebels, but yeah, like, you can fold that back away or have it out. Yeah, I mean, he looks awesome. In terms of articulation, he's got everything you need from him. And in terms of versatility, I mean, it's Chopper. He's he's our beloved plucky little astromech. He's got so much character, but because he's an astromech, you can have him in so many different scenes as a foreground character, background character. We've just had the Rebels line re-released, and they finally gave us a sort of deluxe Zeb, so you could do that kind of shot with those guys if you want, or you could do him with stormtroopers or whatever. I'm a big fan of astromechs in general, but especially R2D2 and Chopper, so I'm looking forward to now I've got him in the collection doing some kind of droid adventure shots in my toy photography, where I can put him and R2 in scenes where causing mischief, so that'll be fun. He looks absolutely fantastic as well, just as an astromech, and kind of like a weathered beaten up kind of droid, so you can have him in the background of shots, or like I said, use his interchangeable parts like his leg and stuff for like market shots. So that's a great use of the accessories. I love that with the astromech collection, for example, like with Chopper, that they didn't just do Chopper with nothing else. The fact that they gave us these other legs kind of it justifies wanting to get it as a 6-inch figure at that price point. Obviously you want to get him anyway, but when you have to pay the same amount of money as the other figures for like half the amount of materials used and whatnot, it's kind of like it's kind of difficult. Obviously with the deluxe R2D2 with all the attachments that I've got, like, that's one where I really wanted to have that kind of those possibilities and have that ability to use all those things, so that was easily justified. But even still, those are harder to come by, and I had to hunt for a long time to find one. But yeah, I will be reviewing that one on the channel at some point as well, so we'll get them out and we'll line up all the astromechs at the time. But in terms of versatility for Chopper, I think he's right up there, and he's a great little character. I mean, look at him, he's just fantastic looking. I mean, in terms of presence, like we said, with the little stand we've got, it's really good because from a just presence point of view, he looks fantastic, and when you put him on this base, he looks even better because you can leave him on your display and he looks like he's in action, being Chopper, as we remember Chopper to be. So that's cool. In terms of toy photography, I'll be definitely using these parts, especially this cool blast flame effect kind of thing, and be doing some shots with him and R2, like I said, on some cool adventures. So in terms of final score, I know he's only a little astromech droid, but I think he's an awesome little character, so I'm going to give him a 9. I definitely think he's worth picking up, and you get plenty of articulation on him. In all things considered, you get plenty of accessories, and the paint application and design, he looks awesome. So yeah, I definitely think he's an awesome little figure, and probably underrated by most people, but even for me, I was happy to get him in hand and see that he's so much cooler in hand than just from the photos. So that's going to do it from me, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope it was informative. Do leave a like on the video, as I say, it does help me out, and do subscribe if you're new here, and you won't miss any of the content to come. But I'm going to leave you with that, guys. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.